in fight against insecurity. Security agencies in Ogun State assure residents of adequate security during Yuletide. In business, CAC set December 28th deadline for submission of manual registration applications. And in sports, NFF President Amaju Pinnick to focus attention on FIFA Council seats. Stay tuned for details of these and much more presently. Now the news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari has asked Nigerians to give the military more time and support to fight insecurity in the nation. The president made the appeal today in his Christmas message to Nigerians. President Buhari noted that Christmas season represents joy, peace, hope, love, goodwill, and imminent salvation, adding that these values, which Jesus' advent symbolize, are very much needed in our country at this time when we are confronted with diverse challenges like rising spate of armed banditry, kidnappings, insurgency, economic recession, and an upsurge in COVID-19 infection. The president commended the armed forces for their efforts so far, urging them to do more to checkmate increasing incidents of security threats, especially in the northern parts of the country, as well as the entire nation in varying degrees. He appealed to Christians to use this season of goodwill and joy to renew their faith in the ability of his administration to make a lasting difference in the lives of hard-working Nigerians. The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has ordered 24-hour security arrangements and high-visibility patrols in all the states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) ahead of the Christmas and New Year celebrations. The IGP gave the directive to all Assistant Inspectors General of Police and Commissioner of Police in charge of zonal and state commands nationwide to ensure a peaceful celebration. A statement signed today by the force spokesman Frank Mba also revealed that operational assets of the force are to be deployed on major highways, airports, railway stations, immigration centers, motor parks, places of worship, and financial institutions. Mr. Adamu warned that acts bordering on indiscipline, extortion, and intimidation of travelers and other road users would not be condoned. Meanwhile, security agencies in Ogun State have observed with great concern the rising rates of cultist clashes among groups in some parts of the state and have decided to clamp down more heavily on the perpetrators and their accomplices. This forms part of resolutions of the joint meeting of heads of security agencies in Ogun State, which was held today. A statement signed by the police public relations officer, Abimbola Oyemi, said the meeting appraised various security challenges in the state and once again resolved to tackle them head-on, especially during the Christmas and New Year celebrations. The meeting, according to the statement, also observed with dismay the incessant attacks on security personnel while performing their legitimate duties and resolved that attack on any security operatives under any guise will no longer be tolerated, as such acts will be met with appropriate force permitted under the law to manage violence. The Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Magashi, retired, has urged Christians to pray for the country to overcome its security challenges as they celebrate the birth of Christ. General Magashi gave the charge today in a statement while felicitating with Christians on the special Christmas occasion. He urged Christians to be Christ-like in celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ by showing compassion to fellow Nigerians, irrespective of religious differences, and to pray for peace in the country. General Magashi noted that the least appreciation Nigerians could show to the nation's gallant soldiers who are fighting patriotically so that the citizens can sleep with their eyes closed is to pray for them and be security conscious at this auspicious time. The defense minister harped on the need for peaceful coexistence, unity and peace, especially as the country is fighting insurgency, banditry and kidnapping among other criminal tendencies. The Nigerian military says the rescue of 344 Kankara schoolboys is the first time an operation of that magnitude will be carried out without any loss of lives. The military described the rescue as a major achievement which will go down in history. This position was stated by a military spokesman Major General John Eneche today in Abuja. Major General Eneche also stated that several bandits have been arrested and Boko Haram terrorists neutralized. The spokesman further charged troops to remain determined, sustain the tempo of recent successes, and called on the public to continue to provide information that will help track down criminals.
I've still been waiting to hear from our military historians where rescue operations in whatever ramification, either through kinetic, non-kinetic, a combination of kinetics and non-kinetics put together, that no life was lost. For us, it's a major achievement which even civilized societies, advanced armed forces and armies have acknowledged. The Military High Command encourages the troops and personnel of other security agencies to remain determined and to sustain the tempo in all the joint operations areas. The High Command also reassures the general public of its untiring dedication securing the country. Members of the general public are enjoined to continue providing timely information on the activities of criminals in their various localities to the military and other security agencies for prompt and effective action.
The Federal Road Safety Corps FRSA has issued the February 2021 deadline for the installation of safety valves in petroleum tankers in the country. FRSA Corps Marshal Boboye Oyemi, who disclosed this at the FRSA end-of-year patrol briefing in Abuja, says it is part of efforts to curb recurring explosions across the country. The FRSA boss said the safety valves are essential to prevent tanker explosions and ensure that even if a tanker falls, its contents will not spill. Mr. Oyemi said personnel will be deployed to various tank farms to enforce the new directive.
The deadline for the installation of the safety valves now agreed is 28th of February. So it's a good news for me. So even if a tanker falls, it won't spill. Abroad, in developed countries too, it's not that tankers don't fall. They do, but they don't spill. They don't cause damage. And also the deployment of our personnel to the various tank farms. This is yielding result gradually. When you have a problem over the years, there's bound to be some problems. And for that to base to a proposal has been submitted through the Secretary to the Government of the Federation for support to the transporters, and I know this one is receiving attention.
You've been listening to the national news on Fresh 107.9 FM, Abeokuta. Still to come, Lagos Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu recovers from COVID-19. In business, CAC set December 28 deadline for submission of manual registration applications. And in sports, NFF President Amaju Pinnick to focus attention on FIFA Council seat. Stay with Fresh 107.9 FM. Welcome back. The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says he has recovered from COVID-19 after testing negative for the virus. The governor would describe his fight against the virus as moderate, also reiterates the need to observe the laid-down COVID-19 preventive measures and submit to a test as soon as symptoms appear. Governor Sanwo-Olu also asked all establishments to adopt a no-mask, no-entry policy, adding that the state government will bring the full weight of the law to bear on those found flouting COVID-19 rules. The governor appreciated the Lagos State COVID-19 treatment team for taking care of him and described them as dedicated and competent. Meanwhile, the Edo State government says it is worried about the second wave of the coronavirus pandemic, which could be more serious than the first outbreak if not managed properly. The Edo State Governor, Godwin Obaseki, who made this known in a state broadcast, announced the reintroduction of COVID-19 preventive measures. Measures reintroduced in the state include social distancing and a curfew from midnight to 4 a.m., except December 31st, 2020.
Government has decided to reintroduce the following measures in Edo State to limit the spread of the second wave of COVID-19, particularly during this holiday period. The wearing of face masks is mandatory in public places. There should be a drastic reduction in the number of people attending religious, political, and social gatherings in any one place. People are advised not to patronize or enter any public facility without hand wash stations, which are provided with soap and running water. All schools in the state will remain shut until January 18, 2021. In line with the federal government directive, we have now adjusted our curfew to begin from 12 midnight to 4 a.m. daily, except on December 31st, 2020.
In business, the Corporate Affairs Commission CAC has set Monday, December 28th, as the last day it will receive the submission of all post-incorporation applications to ensure successful rollover to the newly operated company registration portal, which kicks off in January 2021. A statement by the Commission says the company's regulation for the implementation of the Companies and Allied Matters Act has received the approval of the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Niyi Adebayo, on all pending applications submitted manually before the due date will be treated by the Commission. It says that CSE was exploring integration with the National Identity Management Commission to enable it to verify identities of directors intending to register new companies without necessarily submitting physical copies of their identity cards. And in sports, President of the Nigerian Football Federation NFF, Amaju Pinnick, has reiterated that he will not be seeking a third term at the helm of affairs of the organization. Mr. Pinnick's tenure in charge of the NFF ends in 2022, and he insists that his decision to serve only 2 terms was made when he won re-election in 2018. The NFF president, who is also an executive committee member of the Confederation of African Football (CAF), is currently seeking a place on the FIFA Council.
This is a time you now pause, meditate, and take a deep breath. And what next, So, and of course, you know that, like I said clearly, that my tenure in NFF ends in 2 years. I'm not going to renew it. I'm not going to stand for election again. I want to devote my time to my businesses and also to my family. The only thing I want to do now is to get into the FIFA Council, which is the highest decision-making body of football in the world. I'm a member of the organizing committee of FIFA right now. To me, it's not enough. Nigeria is a massive, big country, the most successful country from the continent of Africa. So we believe that such a country should have a seat in the FIFA Council. Since Adamu left 10 years ago, no Nigerian has been able to occupy that seat. So we believe this is the time.
Before we end the national news on Fresh 107.9 FM, Abeokuta, here's a recap of the main stories. We told you that President Muhammadu Buhari has asked Nigerians to give the military more time and support to fight insecurity in the nation. We also told you that security agencies in Ogun State have assured residents of adequate security during Christmas and New Year celebrations. And in sports, NFF President Amaju Pinnick has revealed plans to focus on getting a seat on the FIFA Council. And that's the national news on Fresh 107.9 FM, Abeokuta. The news was edited by Wale Bakari. I am Tunde Akimbi. Thanks for listening. Good evening and compliments of the season.
Broadcasting worldwide, the latest hits and the greatest memories. Fresh 107.9 FM.
Ẹ̀kálẹ́ èyí níròyìn àpapọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa Nàìjíríà tó ń dé sétí ìgbọ́yín láti iléeṣẹ́ rédíò Fresh 107.9 FM. Abẹ́òkúta la ti ń ròyìn láti ẹnu Olúfẹ́mi Oyènẹ́kan kí ẹ tó gbọ́ ròyìn náà lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ gbọ́n kókó inú rẹ̀. Ààrẹ Buhari pè fún sùúrù òun àtìlẹ́yìn tó lówúra fáwọn ológun nínú gbígbógun ti ìpèníjà tó ń kojú ètò ààbò. Àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn mú ìdánilójú wá láti pèsè ètò ààbò tó dúró digbí fárá ìlú lásìkò pọ̀pọ̀ ṣìnṣìn ọdún. Àjọ tó ń ṣètò ìforúkọsílẹ̀ àwọn iléeṣẹ́ kéde ọjọ́ 28 oṣù kejìlá gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọjọ́ tó kẹ́yìn fètò ìforúkọsílẹ̀ fọ́dún 2020. Olórí àjọ NFF Amaju Pinnick tẹnumọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ pé òun kò ní díje fún sáà kẹta. Wàyí o, ẹ̀gbọ́ròyìn náà lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari ti ké sí àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà láti túbọ̀ fáwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò lásìkò díẹ̀ sí i kí wọ́n sì gbárùkù tì wọ́n nínú gbígbógun ti ìpèníjà tó ń kojú ètò ààbò nílẹ̀ wa. Ààrẹ rawọ́ ẹ̀bẹ̀ náà lónìí nínú ọ̀rọ̀ ìkíni kú ewu ọdún ti Kérésìmesì tó fi ṣọwọ́ sáwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà. Ààrẹ Buhari wòye pé àkókò Kérésìmesì dúró fún ayọ̀, àlàáfíà, ìfẹ́, ìrètí, èròǹgbà rere àti ìgbàlà ọkàn, pẹ̀lú àfikún pé àwọn ohun tí Kristi ṣe àfihàn rẹ̀ yìí la nílò lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa nírú àsìkò yìí tó nírúurú ìpèníjà ń bá orílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà fínra bíi ti ètò ọrọ̀ ajé tó dágù, àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn COVID-19 tó ń légbá kan jọ̀rin lọ, ìjínigbé tó lékenkà, ìwà àwọn alákatakítí àti gbígbésùmọ̀mí. Ààrẹ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn ológun fún akitiyan pẹ̀lú ẹ̀bẹ̀ sí wọn láti túbọ̀ ṣakitiyan mákàsí lójú ọ̀nà àti fòpin sáwọn ohun tó ń dúnkòokò mọ́ ètò ààbò ní pàtàkì jùlọ lẹ́kùn àríwá orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Ó bá wọn Kìrìsìtẹ́nì sọ̀rọ̀ láti lo àkókò ayẹyẹ ọdún fi ṣe àfihàn ayọ̀ aláìlẹ́gbẹ́ àti èròǹgbà rere kí wọ́n sì ní ìrètí tó ṣe sàn án nínú ìṣèjọba rẹ̀ láti kó ipa tó láàmìlàaka nínú ìgbésí ayé àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà. Ọ̀gá àgbà pátá fáwọn ọlọ́pàá nílẹ̀ wa Muhammed Adamu ti pàṣẹ ètò ààbò tó dúró gbágbáágbá lójoojúmọ́ pẹ̀lú lílọ bíbọ̀ àwọn agbófinró ní gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ àti olúlu ilẹ̀ wa ṣáájú ayẹyẹ Kérésìmesì àti ọdún tuntun. Ọ̀gá àgbà pátá fáwọn ọlọ́pàá ló ṣe ìtọ́ni fún gbogbo àwọn igbákejì ọ̀gá ọlọ́pàá àtàwọn ọ̀gá ọlọ́pàá nípínlẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan lójú ọ̀nà àti rí dájú pé aṣọdún láyọ̀ àti àlàáfíà. Àtẹ̀jáde tí agbẹnusọ iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá Frank Mba fọwọ́ sí lónìí tún ṣe payá pé àwọn ikọ̀ alákànṣe ètò ààbò yóò wà láwọn ojú òpópónà márosẹ̀, pápákọ̀ òfurufú, ibùdókọ̀ ojú irin, ibùdókọ̀ orí ilẹ̀, àwọn gbọ̀ngàn ìjọsìn, àwọn ilé ìfowópamọ́ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Adamu wá kìlọ̀ fáwọn ọlọ́pàá láti ta kété sáwọn ìwà aláìlẹ́kọ̀ọ́, lílọ́ni lọ́wọ́gbà, kíkó jìnnìjìnnì bo àwọn arìnrìn-àjò àtàwọn tó ń lójú pópó. Àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn ti fi àìdùnnú wọn hàn sí fàákájà tó ń ṣe lemọ́lemọ́ láàrin àwọn ọmọ ẹlẹ́gbẹ́ òkùnkùn nípínlẹ̀ yìí. Torí náà wọ́n ti pinnu láti gbé pẹrẹkí kaná pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ ẹlẹ́gbẹ́ òkùnkùn àtàwọn agbódegbà wọn. Èyí wà lára ìpinnu tí wọ́n mú níbi ìpàdé alájùmọ̀ṣe ti àwọn olórí gbogbo iléeṣẹ́ ètò ààbò nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn èyí tó wáyé lónìí. Àtẹ̀jáde kan tí agbẹnusọ iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn Abímbọ́lá Oyèyẹmí fọwọ́ sí sọ pé níbi ìpàdé náà ni wọ́n ti bójú wo àwọn ìpèníjà tó ń kojú ètò ààbò àti ọ̀nà láti gbógun tì í ní pàtàkì jùlọ lásìkò ayẹyẹ ọdún Kérésìmesì àti ọdún tuntun. Àtẹ̀jáde náà tún jẹ́ kó di mímọ̀ pé níbi ìpàdé ọ̀hún ni wọ́n tún ti ṣàgbéyẹ̀wò ìkọlù tí wọ́n máa ń ṣe sáwọn agbófinró nígbà tí wọ́n bá ń bá iṣẹ́ ìríjú wọn lọ, pẹ̀lú àfikún pé kò ní sí ààyè fún èyí mọ́ lábẹ́ bó ti wù kó rí. Alákòóso fétò ààbò nílẹ̀ wa ọ̀gágun fẹ̀yìntì Bashir Magachi ti pàrọwà sáwọn Kìrìsìtẹ́nì láti gbàdúrà láìsinmi àti láìṣàárẹ̀ forílẹ̀-èdè yìí kó lè borí ìpèníjà tó ń kojú ètò ààbò gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣàjọyọ̀ ọjọ́ ìbí Kristi. Ọ̀gágun Magachi ló pàrọwà náà lónìí nínú àtẹ̀jáde kan tó fi ń kí àwọn Kìrìsìtẹ́nì kú oríire fún ti Kérésìmesì. Ó rawọ́ ẹ̀bẹ̀ sáwọn Kìrìsìtẹ́nì láti fi ìwà bíi ti Kristi sójúṣe nípa fífi ìfẹ́ wọn sọ́mọ Nàìjíríà ẹlẹgbẹ́ wọn láì taro ìyàtọ̀ nínú ẹ̀sìn kí wọ́n sì gbàdúrà fún àlàáfíà orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Ọ̀gágun Magachi wòye pé ẹ̀mí ìmoore tó ga jùlọ táwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà lè fi hàn sáwọn ológun tí kò sùn tí kò wò nítorí tiwọn ní láti máa fàdúrà jagun fún wọn ká sì wà lójúfò. Ó tẹnumọ́ pàtàkì ìbágbépọ̀ àlàáfíà àti ìṣọ̀kan ní pàtàkì jùlọ nírú àsìkò yìí torílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ń jà raburabu láti gbógun ti gbígbésùmọ̀mí, ìjínigbé, jíju àdó olóró àtàwọn ìwà kò tọ́ mìíràn. Iléeṣẹ́ ológun orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ti jẹ́ kó di mímọ̀ pé dídóòlà àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ 44 àti 300 tilé ẹ̀kọ́ ìjọba tó wà ní Kankara nígbà àkọ́kọ́ tí ètò dídóòlà ẹ̀mí máa wáyé láìṣe pé ẹnikẹ́ni farapa àbí pípàdánù ẹ̀mí rẹ̀. iléeṣẹ́ ológun ṣàpèjúwe yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí àṣeyọrí mánigbàgbé nínú ìtàn. Agbẹnusọ iléeṣẹ́ ológun ọ̀gágun John Enenche ló ṣípayé yìí lónìí nílùú Àbújá. Enenche tún jẹ́ kó di mímọ̀ pé ogunlọ́gọ̀ àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí làwọn ti rọ́wọ́ tó tí wọ́n sì ti sọ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Boko Haram di òtúbáńtẹ̀. Agbẹnusọ iléeṣẹ́ ológun wá rawọ́ ẹ̀bẹ̀ sáwọn ológun náà láti dúró ṣinṣin kí àṣeyọrí lè túbọ̀ máa jẹyọ sí pẹ̀lú ẹ̀bẹ̀ sáwọn ará ìlú láti tẹ̀síwájú nínú àwọn ìròyìn tí wọ́n ń fáwọn agbófinró kí iṣẹ́ wọn lè rọrùn bí ẹ̀kọ́. Àjọ ẹ̀ṣọ́ ojú pópó nílẹ̀ wa ti kéde oṣù kejì ọdún 2021 gẹ́gẹ́ bí gbèdéke fáwọn ọlọ́kọ̀ agbépo láti fi ohun èlò kan tó ń dènà ìbúgbàmù sínú ọkọ̀ agbépo wọn gbogbo. Ọ̀gá àgbà àjọ FRSC Bòbóyè Oyèyẹmí tó ṣípayá èyí níbi ìpàdé òpin ọdún pẹ̀lú àwọn akọ̀ròyìn nílùú Àbújá ṣàlàyé pé èyí jẹ́ akitiyan láti dẹ́rọ̀ ìbúgbàmù jákèjádò orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Ọ̀gá àgbà àjọ FRSC náà sọ pé ohun èlò tó ń dígàgá ìbúgbàmù ọ̀hún ṣe pàtàkì débi pé bí ọkọ̀ epo bá tàkìtì epo inú rẹ̀ kò ní fọ́nká sígboro. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Oyèyẹmí sọ lákòótọ́ pé àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ rẹ̀ yóò máa ṣàbẹ̀wò sáwọn ibùdó tí wọ́n ti ń gbé epo láti wo báwọn ọkọ̀ agbépo ṣe ń jọ́ ẹ sí ìtọ́ni tuntun náà. Ìròyìn àpapọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa Nàìjíríà ló sì ń dé sétí ìgbọ̀yín láti iléeṣẹ́ rédíò ti Fresh 107.9 FM lábẹ́òkúta. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó Babájídé Sanwó-Olú sọ pé òun ti gba dídá ara kúrò lọ́wọ́ COVID-19 lẹ́yìn tí àyẹ̀wò ti fi hàn pé kò sí COVID-19 lára ẹ̀ mọ́. Gómìnà tó ṣàpèjúwe gbígbógun ti àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn náà gẹ́gẹ́ bí èyí tí kò kọjá bó ti yẹ tẹnumọ́ ìdí pàtàkì láti tẹ̀lé gbogbo àwọn ìlànà tó ń dènà àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn náà pẹ̀lú títẹ́ pẹpẹ èsì àyẹ̀wò ní kété táwọn àpẹẹrẹ kan bá ti ń jẹyọ. Gómìnà Sanwó-Olú ké sí gbogbo àwọn iléeṣẹ́ láti ṣe àmúlò ìlànà kò sí ìbòmú kò sáàyè láti wọlé sọ́dọ̀ wa pẹ̀lú ìdánilójú pé ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó yóò fojú àwọn tó bá tàpá sófin COVID-19 wíná. Sanwó-Olú dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìgbìmọ̀ tó ń tọ́jú àwọn aláìsàn COVID-19 fún ìtọ́jú tó péye tó rí gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn àti àpèjúwe àwọn èèyàn náà gẹ́gẹ́ bí akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ tó sì farajì fúnṣẹ́. Ẹ̀wẹ̀, ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Edo sọ pé ọ̀rọ̀ abala kejì COVID-19 ń kó láyà sókè torí pé ó ṣeé ṣe kó burú kọjá àtàkọ́kọ́ bá ò bá tètè falẹ̀ mọ́. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Edo Godwin Obaseki tó sọ èyí di mímọ̀ nínú ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ kan tún ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ àwọn òfin tó ń dènà àrùn kòrónà. Lára àwọn òfin tí wọ́n tún gbé kalẹ̀ láti rí ìlànà sún fún mi kí n sún fún ọ àti ìséde olóru ọ̀gànjọ́ di aago 4 ìdájí àyàfi ọjọ́ 21 oṣù kejìlá ọdún 2020 nìkan. Lẹ́ka okòòwò, àjọ tó ń ṣe ìforúkọsílẹ̀ iléeṣẹ́ lábẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ ti kéde ọjọ́ ajé ọjọ́ 28 oṣù kejìlá gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọjọ́ tó kẹ́yìn tí yóò tẹ́wọ́ gba ìwé ìbéèrè látọ̀dọ̀ àwọn iléeṣẹ́ tó fẹ́ forúkọsílẹ̀ káàyè lè wà láti lọ túnra mú fọdún 2021. Àtẹ̀jáde látọ̀dọ̀ àjọ náà sọ pé àwọn ti gba àṣẹ lọ́wọ́ alákòóso fọ́rọ̀ okòwò ọrọ̀ ajé àti ìdásílẹ̀ iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá Níyì Adébáyọ̀ láti yanjú gbogbo àwọn iṣẹ́ tó wà níwájú rẹ̀ kó tó di pé àkókò tó. Ó ṣàlàyé síwájú pé àjọ CAC ti ń dọ̀rẹ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú àjọ tó ń fúnni ní nọ́mbà ìdánimọ̀ ilé wa láti mọ̀ nípa àwọn ọ̀gá àgbà iléeṣẹ́ tó fẹ́ forúkọ sílẹ̀ láì tiẹ̀ nílò wípé wọ́n ń kó káàdì ìdánimọ̀ wá dìgbọ̀ndìgbọ̀n sọ́dọ̀ wọn. Lẹ́kàárẹ̀ ìdárayá, olórí àjọ NFF Amaju Pinnick sọ pé òun kò ní díje dupò fún sáà kẹta gẹ́gẹ́ bí ààrẹ àjọ tó ń rí sí bọ́ọ̀lù aláfẹsẹ̀gbá nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. Àkókò ọ̀gbẹ́ni Pinnick lórí oyè yóò wá sópin lọ́dún 2022 ó sì ti jẹ́ kó di mímọ̀ pé èròǹgbà rẹ̀ kò kọjá sáà méjì. Ààrẹ àjọ NFF tó tún jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára ọmọ ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàkóso àjọ tó ń rí sí bọ́ọ̀lù aláfẹsẹ̀gbá nílẹ̀ Áfíríkà wà ń fojú sọ́nà fún ipò nínú àjọ tó ń rí sí bọ́ọ̀lù aláfẹsẹ̀gbá lágbàáyé. Ẹ̀yìn yàrá, ẹni tó bá ṣọdún jẹ́jẹ́ lásìkò yìí irú wọn ló ń ṣàmọ́dún, torí náà ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣohun gbogbo pẹ̀lẹ́tùbà. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ gbọ́ kókó inú ìròyìn náà. Ààrẹ Buhari pè fún sùúrù òun àtìlẹ́yìn tó lówúra fáwọn ológun nínú gbígbógun ti ìpèníjà tó ń kojú ètò ààbò. àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn mú ìdánilójú wá láti pèsè ètò ààbò tó dúró digbí fárá ìlú lásìkò pọ̀pọ̀ ṣìnṣìn ọdún. Àjọ tó ń ṣètò ìforúkọsílẹ̀ àwọn iléeṣẹ́ kéde ọjọ́ 28 oṣù kejìlá gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọjọ́ tó kẹ́yìn fétò ìforúkọsílẹ̀ fọdún 2020. Bákan náà làmú wá sétí ìgbọ̀yìn wípé olórí àjọ NFF Amaju Pinnick tẹnumọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ póhùn ò ní díje fún sáà kẹta. Ọpẹ́ pàtàkì lọ́wọ́ Wálé Bákàrè tó ṣe àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn náà. Èmi ni Olúfẹ́mi Oyènẹ́kan jẹ́ o.
Ó ń dún kẹ̀rìírí ó ń mìlú títì Fresh 107.9 FM lábẹ́ Olúmọ wọ́n ń gbọ́ lókè lálá Ẹ̀gbá la wà nílùú Abẹ́òkúta.
Thank you for choosing Fresh 107.9 FM Abeokuta. Please listen to this announcement.